Hi, it's Sandy, and today I'm bringing you my Q2 stats and book haul. As always, in this I'm going to start off with the stats and then I'll follow up with the book haul. So if you want to watch one or the other, you can go to whichever part is relevant to you. So I will start off with stats, and if you want to wait till the book haul, you can wait till the book haul. If you want to skip ahead when you see me holding up books, that's when I've been doing the book haul. I don't know how to do, I don't think I can do chapters yet. Like, I think that's over a certain amount of subscribers thing. I don't know. I can't do chapters, so we're doing it old style. So Q2, which covers April, May, June, quarter 2 of the year. Yeah, I'm just going to go through my stats and let you know how it went. So generally, over the course of the 3 months, I read a total of 39 books. That breaks down into 15 for April, 13 for May, and 11 for June. Pages wise, that is a grand total of 14,934 pages, which breaks down to 4,840 for April, 5,364 for May, and 4,730 for June. So yeah, that's some good reading months. I'm not gonna lie, that is some good reading months. I was feeling bad about June, but the pages are obviously, like, I was reading thicker books. So yeah, I'm doing well. I'm enjoying what I'm reading, and that's all that matters. Genre-wise, over the last quarter, I've read 15 romance books, 17 science fiction and fantasy books, 1 historical fiction, 5 non-fictions, and 1 contemporary book. I did kind of go a bit ham with the non-fiction, I think, in April. I can't remember if it was April or May, but I just read, I think I read 4 in one go, because I was just feeling non-fiction apparently. But yeah, most of it's being, shockingly, science fiction fantasy. I'm not, I keep saying I'm not the biggest fantasy reader, so I'm creaking my chair if you can hear that. I'm not the biggest fantasy reader, but I am getting more into fantasy. I think we are starting to broach some fantasy, and definitely we're getting new science fiction in there as well. So of the 39 books I read, 13 of them had LGBTQ+ representation in them, which is 33% of my reads. 4 of them had disabled rep in them, with 10% of my reads, and 2 were by authors of colour, which is only 5% of my reads. I think some of these stats are wrong because I have a really bad memory, and June has been a really rough month, so I don't really remember what's happened over the last 3 months. Frankly, it's been a rough few months. I have a recurring infection that keeps happening, and I've had to have monthly antibiotics, and I'm on month 5. I've just refused to go back to the doctor this month because I don't want more antibiotics, and the surgeons aren't taking me, or my doctor, or my GP, who referred me to surgery, seriously. I literally spent 13 hours in hospital to be told, oh, we'll get you in with a surgeon in 2 weeks. I got my letter through, it was September. I then got told to ignore that, another letter came through for October. I then got told to ignore that, and another came through for November. So I've been having to get antibiotics every month because this infection just will not go. And the surgeons are just like, don't care. It's something I've had to have surgery on twice, maybe 3 times before. And it's, yeah, between that and other things that have been happening, Hamish has been unwell to the point where he had to have surgery to have his spleen removed, and Kay is now ill with gastric flu. It's just been a time. It's been a time. I'm unwell, and then with Kay being ill and with Hamish being ill, I've been having to do more, which has set me into a flare. It's just a bad time. So my memory is shot, so I think some of these stats might be wrong. There's already one I know, actually, from doing my wrap up, that has disabled rep that I'd add into that. So I could be wrong on some of these, but this is what we're going with. So within that as well, of the 39 books, 8 were rereads, which is surprisingly lower than I expected it to be. I think I've been reading just loads of ebooks, and that's making me feel like I'm rereading things, because, stay with me here, because I'm not reading off my physical TBR, and my physical TBR isn't going down that much, my brain thinks I'm rereading things when actually I'm just reading things on KU. Does that make sense? So if we compare to last quarter, so in Q1 I ended with 52 books on my TBR. At the end of Q2 I have 32 books on my TBR. I am making my way down that TBR. Anyway, I'm making my way through that TBR. I'm so happy with the progress. I am getting scarily close to a 0 TBR. I'll have to say, scarily close. Scarily. Library wise, I ended Q1 on 974 books in my library, which means we have 26 to go in Q1 to get my 1,000 book library. If you are just tuning in now, I am trying to get my library to 1,000 books to make it an official library. But I'm also, still unhauling stuff and I'm not really buying loads, so it's been a process. But at the end of Q2, my library is now at 983 books, which means I just have 17 books to go until I hit my library, and that is really, really exciting. Like, I cannot wait. I think my two big goals are to get to 1,000 books and then to get to a library of 1,000 books, like a read library of 1,000 books, because currently that 983 also includes my 32 books on my TBR. I might unhaul some of those. I will definitely be hauling more. I've got pre-orders come in through the year, so I'm going to hit the 1,000 book mark anyway, but I would like to have 1,000 read books on my shelves. That would be nice. And I do include duplicates. If you don't think that's the way to do it, I don't care. They're on my shelves. I've read them. So, yeah, so 17 books to go until I hit my 1,000 book library. So can we do it in Q3? Possibly, because August is my birthday for a start, and also August I have quite a few pre-orders. I think it's the most pre-orders of the year is in August. So we shall see in Q3. And now on to the book haul portion of the video. Now this is the best month, I think. The best haul quarter in a way. So I've only hauled a grand total of 12 books. 12 books that I've hauled this quarter. So that is incredible. That is amazing. I cannot believe I've only hauled 12 books. This also scares me. Like, my TBR is down to 32. I've only hauled 12 books in 3 months. I don't have that many pre-orders to come in. I do have, like, a fair amount, but, like, I think I'm halfway through my pre-orders already. I mean, I'm halfway through the year, so obviously, but, like, I think I only have maybe at most 20 books to come in, and that includes, like, a whole series that I bought. So, yeah, I'm worried. I'm actually at the stage where I'm worried I'm going to run out of books, but at the same time, my reading has also kind of tanked. So I'm slightly scared that I will just stop reading forever. We shall see what happens. Now, the breakdown for the haul is 5 books in April, 5 books in May, and 2 books in June, which amazing for June, by the way. So happy with that. So I am basically just going to show you what I hauled. So for June, I hauled Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This is the UK special edition, and it is stunning. I cannot wait to get Daydream and have my set complete. This follows Russ and Rory Aurora as they have sort of fool around at college, and then both find themselves at the same camp, summer camp, as like camp leader, like counsellors, that's the word. And things get kind of awkward, but also romance ensues. Next is Swept Away by Beth O'Leary. This book gave me endless anxiety. And yeah, this is about a couple who have a one night stand and wake up the next day in this houseboat, to find they have drifted out into the North Sea in a houseboat. This book gave me endless anxiety. It was such a good book though. I really enjoyed it. Like, the fact that I had that much anxiety shows that it was done well. And you know, there is some give and take with me and Beth O'Leary, so I'm very happy about that. Next is the paperback edition of The End of Crowns All by B. Fitzgerald. This has the same edges, not the same edges, but this sort of equivalent edges of the first book, Girl Goddess Queen. They're not, I don't think they're related, I'm unsure, they might be in the same universe, but this is a sapphic retelling of Troy, and it is following Cassandra and Helen. I've not read it yet, it's on my TBR this month. I do have the hardback as well, but I don't have the hardback of the first one, so I can't decide if I'm keeping one or the other. They've both got the edges, so we shall see. And then along with, I think, everybody else on planet Earth, I got Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This follows two aspiring writers as they go to interview this woman. It's very Evelyn Hugo-esque in that sense, where she finally wants to tell her life story, but the thing is she's also kind of playing them off each other. They can't discuss it, they can't sort of work together, and they are being forced to compete to see who will actually tell her story. I really enjoyed this. I was one of the, I think, few by the sounds of it that actually loved this book. I loved the way it was written. I see this more as a contemporary than a romance, and I think Emily Henry is starting to lean more towards the contemporary literary side rather than romance books. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I really like the ombre edge, and can't wait to see what she writes next. And lastly, in the month of April, I bought Witchcraft Before We Were Girls by Grady Hendrix. This is my second Grady Hendrix. The first one I own, the second one I'll have read. I did read My Best Friend's Exorcism, and I hated it for all the right reasons. It was so well written, it just grossed me out, and I never ever want to read anything again. But this one seems a little more up my alley. So this is like it is a horror, but it's more of less of a gross horror, more of like other kind of, I can't remember the word for it, like a literary horror. So this follows girls who are sent to this home for wayward girls, and it is a like mother and baby house. So there are these houses that were used in the probably like up to I think the 90s, where you would send your unwed daughter who got herself pregnant, so she could be pregnant and have the baby in secret, and then the baby would be given away for adoption. And this is a kind of place where a lot of the time the girls would be abused and harassed, and bad things would happen, and so these girls discover witchcraft and fight back, I want to say. But yeah, it's not in the thing because it is on my TBR for this month, so I'm excited about that too. So next up is May, and the first thing I hauled in May was For Whom the Bell Tolled by J.C. Lynn. This book is my new Roman Empire. I love it. This follows Lily, who dies of cancer at the age of 34 and ends up in the afterlife, and decides one day that she's going to go down to hell just to see what it's like. And there she ends up setting up this help desk. JC has a TikTok page where there's like hundreds of episodes of Hell's Bells, which is kind of what this is based off of. It's a skit she does working at the help desk. So the help desk is there to help the demons, not to help the souls. The souls come down and they're like, do you know who I am? And like, I'm too important to be here. There's a mistake that I'm here. And they harass the demons. And so Lily takes over with all of her years of retail experience. But this time she can talk back and she can hit back. So it's a lot more interesting. This book, however, follows Lily as she dies, as she goes through the whole process of the afterlife, meeting people, denizens of the afterlife, other souls, getting to know gods and goddesses and deities and demons, and I just love this so much. It also follows a war that kind of happens because of a interdimensional invasion, as it were. This book has my whole soul, and I'm so happy I finally have a copy to hold in my hands. Next up is The Lady of the Lake by our very own Jean Mingus. Dr. Jean Mingus is a YouTuber and a Scottish author at that, and this is a Sapphic Arthurian legend retelling between the Lady of the Lake and Morgan, or Morgana if you know her from BBC's Merlin, but Morgan is her name in this. I loved this. This was so good, so cool. If you like Arthurian retellings, I would give it a go. Jean herself is actually a historian. She's a doctor of ancient history, and so she knows how to research, she knows how to write. She's just fantastic in all things, and I really, really recommend this. I'm so happy I have a physical copy because I also got the ARC for this and loved it when I read it. Next is Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. This is Ali Hazelwood's latest book, and this follows our main character, whose name I can't remember, that's terrible, Maya. And Maya is the sister of Eli from Not in Love, and his friend Connor, who is also in Not in Love, and they kind of had this encounter years ago, like 3 years ago, and then suddenly they stopped talking, and now they're stuck on an island in a house for her brother's wedding, and everybody else gets sick, and so they're stuck together, and she is trying to figure out like what happened. She still has feelings for him, but he is determined that their age gap is just too big. There's 14 years between them, and he's her brother's best friend, and yeah, there's just a whole conflict about that. But I really enjoyed this. Again, Ali Hazelwood just seems to keep knocking it out of the park. And then because I was doing an order on WH Smith and I needed to get, like, you have to get the free shipping. Like, you have to pay, like, buy enough to get free shipping, otherwise you're just wasting money. Girl math. And so I ended up getting this beautiful, and I mean beautiful, edition of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This is, I think it's leather bound, and it's like it smells leather bound, and it might be fake leather though, but like it smells like, it doesn't smell like there's just a really particular smell. Although the fact that it's leather bound kind of is creepy because it's Frankenstein, and obviously like Frankenstein, and it feels very skin-like, like very leathery skin type. But yeah, look at this beautiful, beautiful addition to add to my collection that I'm growing of Frankenstein. And talking of classics that I'm collecting, you'll probably guess what the next one is, and that is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. This is a beautiful, beautiful edition. Again, this was on WH Smith, so that I could get the postage. And look at these edges. That is absolutely stunning. It is such a beautiful edition. It's got some beautiful illustrations in it as well. And yeah, I just apparently love collecting editions of The Secret Garden. Secret Garden and Frankenstein, the two editions that I'm collecting. And this one is just, it's just so beautiful. Like, it's just so beautiful, I had to. So, those are the books I hauled in May. Now for the two books that I hauled in the month of June. First of which is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This is V.E. Schwab's newest book. Again, I had an arc of this and absolutely adored it when I read it. This is messy, toxic, lesbian vampires. We follow 3 timelines, 3 main characters as they live as women in times where things aren't necessarily going their way, and how they grow teeth, as it were. I love this book so much. If you are even remotely a fan of V.E. Schwab, you just got to trust it, because this is one of their better works. Actually, I don't even say better. This is one of their best works, because I love all of Schwab's works. But even people who have been a bit funny with Schwab have loved this book. So even if you have like a small inkling, I say go for it. And lastly, the last thing that I got in the month of June was Gloves Off by Stephanie Archer. This is the newest in the Behind the Net series, or Vancouver Storm series. And this follows Alexei and Georgia, and they enter into a marriage of convenience or inconvenience so that Alexei can get his citizenship and not be deported. Georgia is one of the team doctors, and these two antagonise each other like nothing else. He thinks she's frivolous, rich, and just airheaded. And she thinks he is just a giant ass, which really he actually kind of is. And so they have to pretend they're married and eventually end up learning what the others actually like and end up falling for each other, which is just amazing. Again, I love this so much. I love Stephanie Archer. There is no wrong she can do. There we go. Those are my Q2 stats and my haul for Q2 as well. This has been, I feel like a good quarter, but only for reading, because personally it's been horrendous. So yeah, that's just yeah, it's been a quarter. It's been a quarter. Anyway, that is all for today's video. If you want to let me know you were here, leave me some kind of, what will we do? Leave me some kind of emoji that reminds you of Frankenstein or The Secret Garden or your favourite classic, because I love The Secret Garden and Frankenstein, and I just keep collecting editions and editions and editions of them. So yeah, let me know what yours is, leave an emoji, and let me know what your favourite classic is. Anyway, I'm gonna go, I'm very tired, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.